That's my favorite. I don't know. It helps to line up the audio.
Cool. I'm at work, but no.
Did you start it?
Yeah.
Can you start the clock?
This.
Yep. 10. Yeah, that just helps me kind of keep track of where I am, so I don't go crazy and get rambly. Yo, we're here with Big Kev.
What's up? What's up?
Our full government name. What's your full?
Kevin Robert Wiseman.
Kevin Robert Wiseman.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of things I don't know about you, so I'm kind of excited for this.
All right.
I feel like I don't know anything about your life before 12 months ago.
Yeah. I feel like people don't.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. Kind of excited. So, how old are you?
25.
25.
Yes.
And did you play sports growing up?
I did, yeah. I played sports pretty much my whole entire life, like, I guess from the time I could walk, but I wasn't like the superstar athlete. I was kind of like I played sports all the way until I graduated pretty much high school, but I was never freshman year varsity anything. I don't have any scholarship offers like all these people seem to have.
I appreciate the humility and the honesty, and also same. I definitely was not an all-star either, so no shade, no judgment. It's like those stories are always super cool, but it's like that's just not most people's lives.
No.
What sports did you play?
Football and baseball, all pretty much all through high school, and then I actually quit everything and played golf senior year. I was able to work and play a sport, so I kind of helped.
Where'd you work?
I had a restaurant.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was able to I went and we played golf. We did 9 holes like my senior year, and I played the 9 holes, and I'd go to work from 4:30 to 10 or something like that. So with baseball, I wasn't able to. We traveled so much more, and the games are so long and stuff.
Yeah,
so.
I played softball in high school.
Okay.
I did. I played volleyball in the fall, and then I broke my hand. I messed my hand up really bad.
What did you do?
I caught a ball weird, and it messed my hand up, and I had to have it pinned back together and stuff. Okay. So I quit that.
Wait, you have pins too? Yeah, so did I.
Yeah, and they leave them in, and you have to kind of. They just
that hurt so bad.
And so, and then I ran in the spring. I did track and softball, so 2 spring sports.
Okay.
Which was.
How'd you do that?
It was kind of, in hindsight, I don't really know, but my track was in the morning and softball was in the afternoon, and my track coaches would give me workouts, and as long as I got them done, they didn't really mess with me.
Okay.
And then track meets, there's only 5 track meets a year or whatever. It's small.
Oh, is that because isn't a lot of schools meet up and do one track meet kind of thing?
And there's only a whole season is 5 meets.
Okay.
But softball, baseball, it's
every other day.
All the time. And then you have Texas. Well, you didn't grow up in Texas, but it's huge. Mm-hmm. So then you have AAU teams and club teams, summer teams, traveling teams.
Yeah.
But you didn't grow up in Texas.
No.
Where'd you grow up?
New Jersey.
Jersey.
Yep. Not the city part. I'm from the mountains. So.
There's mountains in New Jersey?
Yeah, the Appalachian Mountains.
Huh. Who knew?
Yeah.
I felt pretty knowledgeable about geography. And I had no idea. I mean, obviously there's your stereotypical Jersey, but when I lived in D.C. for a little while, and all we knew about Jersey was that when you drove by it on the turnpike, then obviously it smells and.
It does smell actually. Well, I think New York smells a little worse. But Nikki, or my wife and I, we whenever we travel, we go to LaGuardia because her parents live in or her dad lives in Long Island or Queens rather, and it's right next to LaGuardia. So we'll find LaGuardia, and man, it's crazy. When you go from the airport here and you find LaGuardia. Not only is it obviously crazy packed, but it smells terrible.
Yeah.
When you get off the plane, there's just people laying all over the floor, and it just smells like onions and stuff.
Yeah, when we lived in DC, we'd always train into Penn Station, and Penn Station stinks.
Yeah.
Both sides. Well, I guess New York obviously more than DC. But.
I'm not a huge fan. I mean, I like New York City. If I can go there. I'll go, especially to eat. You could get literally anything you want there. It's it's amazing for that reason. But it's just I think growing up and going there so often, or not every day, but going there so often. When I go there now, I can see all the tourists, and it makes everything so much worse. And, but it's fun. It's a good time, New York City.
Yeah, well, whenever we visit her family, we always just do a day or two
Okay.
and eat and
Yeah.
kind of mess around and do some shopping because there's
Yeah.
some stuff you
Oh,
can't, that you can't get elsewhere.
Yeah.
Special jeans and hype stuff
Yeah.
that I'm super into.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, Vicky, if we go on a Tuesday, it's a Supreme. Anyway, she humors me. We do shopping and eating and then we just come back. Anyways. So then, right after high school, you joined the military.
I did, yeah.
That's what
I joined the Marine Corps my senior year. I got in trouble my senior year of high school, and it kind of like changed, I guess, the whole idea of like what I was going to do for the rest of my life, kind of thing. It was like one of those weird things. I got in trouble, was suspended from school and stuff, and you know what? I didn't really have bad grades or anything like that, but I don't know. I feel like a lot of the people that I actually met, I ended up meeting in the Marine Corps were kind of in the same boat. They had no aspiration to go to college at the time, and I felt like if I did go to school, I know everyone kind of says this, but like I do think if I did go to school, I would have partied and I would have, gotten bad grades. I would have, wasted away possible student loans and things like that. So I just said, screw it. I got real motivated, and I joined the Marine Corps my senior year of high school, and then I left 3 months after I graduated high school.
And were you ever deployed or anything like that?
I wasn't deployed to like Afghanistan or anything like that, but I've been deployed all over the world.
Yeah.
Asia, I was in Guam, Spain, Cuba. I've been to Germany. I've been to a ton of places, which was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Looking back on it, it's pretty cool.
Right now I'm working at the exchange.
Yeah, I saw that.
Nobody, if they're not in the military, knows what that is.
Yeah.
And I think the exchange is like, I'm not going to say anything bad about it. But I think it's a well-funded yet maybe unnecessary branch of the military.
Yeah. So I was based in Hawaii.
Yeah.
For my last, I was there for about 2 years. I wasn't really there that much, but I was there for 2 years, and there is where you actually love the exchange and the commissary and stuff like that, because if you go off base in Hawaii, like a gallon of milk's like $8,
Right.
a dozen eggs is $8, but if you go on base, you pay regular price. It's like $2 for a gallon of milk or whatever.
Yeah.
There I completely understand it, but yeah, I do understand. I'm not really getting into it, but we kind of always like joke about that, because I only shopped at the exchange when I was on a base where there was like nothing on the base except for this exchange, and I was miles away. But like if I was able to go off base to do anything, I was off base.
Right.
Wawa.
Yeah.
That's what's unfortunate about here. Nikki and I were just talking about this. They don't have Wawas here.
Well, I don't necessarily know if there's a market for it because there's so many other, like the Quick Trip and the Racetrack and the Buc-ee's.
Yeah. I love Wawa.
Yeah.
Like there's like nothing is better to me than Wawa.
There's not a ton on the East Coast. Wawa's the only, I would say,
big
ultra convenience store.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was kind of nice. I went to North Carolina and a few times for East Coast Gold stuff, and they have Wawa out there.
They're so good.
Yeah. And so when did you leave the military?
August of 2017. So
Not
I was
that
in there
long
for
ago.
5 years.
5 years. How long is each enlistment?
Well, typically they're 4.
Yeah.
I think the Army does something like 3, but at least for the Marine Corps, it's typically 4. I signed a 5-year, which worth it in the long run now, but maybe like 2 years into my contract, I was like, why would I ever sign a 5-year contract? That was stupid. But yeah, each enlistment's 4 years, so you re-enlist, it's another 4 years.
Huh.
Some people do the reserves, but
Yeah.
I was pretty. I loved it. I did. But I was definitely like ready to get out. I really wanted to go to college. Like that was something that I really wanted to do.
That's cool. So you kind of like, found your way to school through the military.
Yeah.
And then you got out in 2017, so you would have been like 23.
Yeah, 22, 23.
Yeah. And then is that when you moved to Texas?
Yes. Yeah. Nikki and I just we actually just randomly moved here. I originally actually wanted to go to school and eventually be like a chiropractor or DPT. I wanted to go that route.
Yeah.
And then I really quickly realized I didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
So I went to community college for, I guess, about a year and a half before I transferred to now I'm at TCU. And that idea actually changed. And I changed my major, I changed everything. And, it all kind of worked out. But we actually moved here originally for me to go to Texas Christian University. So, yeah.
Why that school?
That's funny because I don't really, I can't really give you, a crazy good reason. And I ask people that at my school now because, half the school's from California or, Illinois or New York or something like that. And, pretty much everyone kind of says, they go on the campus and they meet the people there and stuff like that. And it's just a beautiful campus. And, it's just clean cut. I'm in engineering now, and the program that I'm in, it's pretty well funded, very small classes, so I love it. I love where I'm at now.
That's awesome. And you're out going on a GI Bill.
Correct.
Is what I think we talked about before.
Yeah.
That's cool. I mean, obviously the military provides a lot of educational opportunities. I looked into it for a while.
Yeah.
I really wanted to be a doctor growing up.
Okay.
So I was kind of looking at, what opportunities there were because, getting medical school is really, really hard. And so it's kind of like, if you kind of work your way through the medical system, then you have more opportunities because now then you have work experience as you apply for medical programs and stuff like that. Ended up going to Texas Tech.
Okay.
Texas Tech had a really high acceptance rate from their undergraduate program into their medical school because Texas Tech has a medical school. So I picked Tech, and I'm not a doctor. That's another tirade. But yeah, I mean, good for you, man. So you're studying engineering.
Yeah. Yep.
Mechanical,
yeah.
What do you want to do?
Actually, I kind of just had this recent light of wanting to work on boats or something like that. I think it took a little bit for me to find what I was interested in because mechanical engineering is just really it's a very broad engineering. You could do so much with it. I kind of I've done a lot of research on it, and I think I don't know if I want to work for maybe an off-road kind of company, work for an ATV company. But I'm looking at Mastercraft boats and stuff like that. It would be so sick. It's a pretty small company, and kind of being on the water a little bit. And,
if you got a boat.
Yeah.
I'd be like, big guy. That was always it was actually funny when I was in college, still in undergrad. People always would be like, well, what's your professional goal? And I'd be like, honestly, I don't really care what my job is. I'll make enough money to have a boat.
Yeah, no, for real.
The maintenance is a lot, and they're expensive.
No, it is. Your boat insurance, you got to pay for it to be docked usually.
Yeah.
Well, if easier for it to be docked, the gas.
Yeah.
No, but every single time I drive past a boat, on the highway, on someone's hitch, I want a boat so bad.
Yeah, I was trying to convince Vicky to buy some land out past Wiley.
Okay.
And I was like, if we buy some land out there, there's a ton of lakes over there, and I'm like, we could be a mile from the lake. We could have room for mountain biking and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
She's not sold because she likes to be close to the grocery store. That's what she said. I want to be close to the grocery store.
No. It's it's good. We live really close to a Costco and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And but I personally where I grew up. I grew up in it sounds weird because I'm from New Jersey, but I grew up in a big town, but a very small town where seriously it's the classic everyone knew everybody kind of thing. You go to the grocery store, you see everyone you see, and I really I miss that. I miss that's something that I definitely want, and I want my kids to one day to kind of grow up in a kind of a small town life, I guess.
Yeah, I grew up in the suburban town. It's
Okay.
but it was 30 minutes to a mall.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm. How often do you go to the mall? Well,
they're dying now, but everything's online, and it's think about it. We could be so close to, trail running and mountain biking and boats, and I could get motorcycle. I like motorcycles.
Yeah.
Not good, but I like them. So then you moved. When did you start weightlifting?
Okay, I started weightlifting. It's always such a weird question when people ask this because everyone always has this weird answer, because they started weightlifting 5.5 years ago, but they were doing CrossFit kind of thing,
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? I started, I guess, weightlifting, maybe 4 years ago.
Really?
Like straight up weightlifting.
Yeah.
But I was still in the Marine Corps, so it was really hard.
Right.
I'd go to the field and go train, and I'd lose 10 pounds, and then I'd come back, and I'd feel horrible, and I'd try to train in a weekend kind of thing. So it really wasn't until I got out in September of 2017. That I would say like I was actually like fully on like a training cycle.
Yeah.
And you know, going to the gym 5 days a week, no matter what. Yeah.
Did you have a coach, or were you following like an online program?
No, I had a coach. From the like kind of the town that I'm from. There was like a gym up there, and it was kind of like a smaller coach.
The Griffin Street guys?
No, not him.
Different guy.
Different guy, yeah.
Okay.
So he was my coach for a bit until I moved here, and then I changed
To Blue Wave, which is how we met each other.
Yes.
And then, when did you start competing?
I actually did my first competition, like what I said, like 4 years ago. So I think it was literally 4 years ago, like May of 2016 or something like that. I did my first meet, the whole 6x6 thing, kind of just like went out and like had fun.
Yeah.
And then I left. I went to Japan like literally the next week. And, you know, I did what I could while I was in Japan. And then I came back. I did another meet, another like kind of 6x6 meet, maybe like a year after that. So 3 years ago. I did okay, but I did. It wasn't until I got out that I got, you know, started competing like to compete. Like you know, like at the time I was kind of competing just to like do it and like kind of gain experience kind of thing. That's what every coach always says, you know, don't worry about this and that, just like go out and have fun. And then I kind of realized like quickly, I guess like progressing that like I could actually like compete in the sport. So I started competing, I started training, and I started
taking it serious.
You know, taking it serious, dedicating time and everything to actually, I guess, you know, be great.
Yeah. What was your first national meet?
Is American Open finals?
Yeah. But I mean, you know, well, I don't count a series meet as a national meet, but you know, you're fairly young, so it may even be like universities, I guess. But
no. It was AO Finals 2017 in Anaheim. That was a blast.
Yeah.
My first, I think like the first time you go is like so sick. You know what I mean? Like, and I think
starry-eyed.
Yeah, you know, it's funny because like looking back on it.
Taking pictures with Matty Rogers.
Well, like, you know, it's like looking back on it, you know, like it is really weird to feel, you know, I think I was probably like in the C session at the time, but like it was like really weird, like, you know, being around the people that, you know, I still didn't really know too many people, and I wasn't like that, like I didn't know that many like things about the sport kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I did know the people, you know, like I knew like the top people and stuff, and actually like walking around and seeing, you know, I remember at the time, Worlds was the week before, and I think I saw like Max Lang was still there, and it was just like, it was like super surreal. And I think like, you leave the sport of weightlifting and no one has any idea who Max Lang is, and no one has any idea who like Wes Kitts is, obviously. But like in our realm, you know, and like in my weight class, when I saw like Wes Kitts in the elevator with me, and I was like, holy crap, this is so, like, to me it was like growing up and like seeing. I wouldn't compare him to, you know, Derek Jeter, but you know.
Yeah, we were at, I think, Nationals last year, Graceland.
Okay.
And
Memphis.
Mm-hmm. And did you stay at Graceland?
Mm-hmm.
And they had
the Elvis Hotel.
Yeah, and they had the peanut butter.
Yeah, the peanut butter mayonnaise thing.
Every night.
What a weird thing to have at a hotel.
So I started in CrossFit, obviously still competing CrossFit, and Camille LeBlanc, Bazinet, and her husband would go to the peanut butter and banana thing every night. So, and I was having a hard time cutting weight, so I'm going back and forth and, you know, passing Camille each time, and, you know, like seeing them as equals. It's like a really crazy experience.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
It really, really is.
I've tried now, like for the past year, maybe year or two, if I'm with Vicky or if I'm with friends or whatever, and people are like, oh, that's Jessica Lucero, I won't let them, like, acknowledge that, especially if they're in my weight class. I'm like, that doesn't matter.
Yeah,
like,
it can't.
We're equals here.
It can't. It can't. Like if you're, I think like there's like a huge difference. Like I didn't mean for this to like sound bad, but I think that there's like a very clear difference between like, I guess like the people that, and this is not, there's nothing wrong with this whatsoever, but like there's people that like qualify for like American Open finals, and like that's like their end goal, and they go there because like they want to go and for the experience. Like I've like personally met people that like kind of go just to like go because it is like a good time. But then there's the other, you know, people that are there like, you know, specifically to compete. Like I remember I think I listened to Maddie Rogers like on a podcast like a long time ago, and I never thought about this, but like she said like when she was competing, she would go to like American Open finals or nationals, whatever it was, and like she'd be like in the middle of her like warming up to go out on the platform and go lift, and she'd go to the bathroom and someone would be like asking to take a picture.
I already knew
and
where
it's
you
like
were
how
headed
could
with that.
you like
Nope.
could you imagine? You know what I mean? Like
I can imagine because when we were in Anaheim, we were training at Camargo's gym.
Okay.
Like before the event.
Yeah.
And Maddie was there, and we were geeking out over Maddie, and but then literally the next year I was in an A session, and then it's like you really have to have a shift in mindset about like these athletes, no matter how many Instagram followers they have, no matter how many world teams they've been on, they're my peer.
Yeah.
And if they have a bad day, I can beat them.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
No matter what they put on Instagram, it doesn't matter. If they have a bad day, or if I have a great day, I can win.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, as soon as you're in like that, I think like as soon as you go to the A session and you're in and you're there to compete, even if you're like in the top 15 of your weight class and you're in like the A session, like you can't look at it like that.
Nope.
Like I remember the first time I was in an A session, like it's kind of hard because like, the first time I was in an A session, I think I had it was just because there wasn't a lot of people that qualified. It was like 2018 nationals. Maybe I was in the A session. I don't really remember. But I remember, like, having, like, basically the bare minimum total to qualify for nationals. But I was in the same session as people that were, had a 340 total at the time,
Yeah. And the nationals totals for a while were just astronomical.
Yeah.
So only, like, a session worth of people qualified in some weight
I
classes.
have, like, 12. There's usually, like, 12 guys in my session. And that's, like, sometimes that's, like, the only...
Especially towards the smaller and then the bigger folks.
Yeah. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. But anyways, yeah, good mindset. And so then you ended up winning last year?
I got bronze at nationals.
Last year,
2019.
And then you hit a big enough total to qualify for an international team.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
So that was 2 years.
Of training?
It took you 2 years?
It took about 2 years, I would say, of training, yeah. It took 2 years, but it took really I would say a year of like, really, not like it took a year of time to like get stronger, but it took a year to like really like sit down and tell myself like I can do this kind of thing, like, and I think like that's like what you have to do.
Yeah. I mean, was your goal to win a national medal? Was your goal to win nationals? Was your goal to qualify for an international team? I mean, obviously, like when you go into a big meet like that, you can't be like, well, I want to get a bronze medal, because everything's so subjective on how everybody else does, right? So you have to sort of just want to do your best, but you have to kind of know also where you're at and what your potential is, and be like, okay, my goal is to podium. Yeah,
no, I totally agree. I think it would be like kind of like, weird to go into a meet and say like, and I only say this because there's really like, I think people forget like there's like luck in weightlifting, like that's like a real thing. Like what you just said, like, the best guy in the world could be in my weight class and have a tight shoulder or elbow or something like that and bomb out a snatch. And all of a sudden, you're in a bronze medal position like that. Like that's literally like how it works. So I think it's like hard to like look at it and say like, I'm going to get bronze. Yeah. Or even like, I'm going to get like first, because like truthfully anything can happen.
Yeah.
Like anything can happen. You could feel a little sick before you lift, you could do bad. They could do bad.
Yeah.
But going into that, the first goal actually was to like hit the qualifying total, like for
the national,
for the international meet. So like that was like the first goal, and I think that actually inadvertently happened at the same time as kind of like hitting the clean and jerk that I needed to get bronze. And the situation was like I actually wasn't like the last person to lift. Like I like hit my lift, and then I had to kind of sit there, and I didn't think it was gonna happen. Like I really didn't. Like I hit my clean and jerk, and I kind of went back. I didn't really want to watch because it was kind of hard to understand that I might actually get a medal at this meet. And then fortunately like I made it, and a couple people ended up going up. I think they needed to hit like a kilo higher than me, and 2 people missed their lift, which led to me getting
that's awesome.
Medal.
It's kind of crazy in weightlifting because versus like CrossFit and weightlifting are totally different sports. And in weightlifting, like we can all win. And I tell people that all the time. Like weightlifting is awesome because you don't have to lose for me to win. Like we can all win here.
Yeah.
But sometimes you do need folks to maybe miss a lift.
Yeah.
And it sucks because you never ever ever want to wish that on anybody. You know you want
you don't, but you do.
You want everybody to go 6 for 6 and your lifts to just be better.
Yeah.
But
but
there's been multiple times where you're in the back and you're like,
yeah.
you're
I know.
you see those red lights and you're like,
yep, I know.
You know,
I know.
And that's just the name of the game.
Yeah, it's life.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially, I'm a really bad snatcher, so
same. I'm like really bad in competition. Like I don't know. I don't really know what it is. It's a work in progress.
I mean, it is for everybody, I guess.
Yeah, I think it just comes with like experience. Like I think like the longer, I think like the most like I think the best snatchers like in the world are people that have been lifting for years and years and years. You know, they're so proficient. And I think it's just like that confidence. Like I feel like I have that confidence until I get out there and I just all of a sudden I think back to like the last meet I did or and it's so hard to to forget about it. It's so hard to forget like
Absolutely.
and you only get 3 attempts and it's so technical and like I think my first meet I went 3 for 3 in the snatch and ever since then I've gotten 2 for 3 maybe.
Yeah.
But I mean it's pretty often I go 1 for 3 in the snatch.
Yeah, I was talking to Laughlin after finals.
Yeah.
And I had a bad finals, and I was talking to Laughlin after finals, and I was like, this is on me.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can make excuses about the lights being in my eyes. I can make excuses about shitty platform, but I missed the lifts.
Yeah.
You have to understand. I was like, I'm so frustrated. I can't make any excuses because Shakasia Johnson went up the next session after me and broke an American record on the same platform with the same lights. I was like, so I can't make any excuses about environmental factors here when people are setting American records in the same or next session.
Yeah.
And Laughlin was like, Megan, you got to chill out because those people have had hundreds of meets.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just saying there's no excuse.
Yeah, as an athlete, I'm in your boat. Like I'm not an excuse person. Like and to be quite honest, I hate like when I hear excuses too.
I mean, it's like
the platform thing. It's almost it's not funny, but like because it sucks so bad that like for instance, I think it was what was it, AO finals this past year, and like that left platform, apparently it was like really, really bad. Like it was like straight up like warped.
Well, there was a piece missing. that was Stan's session. And I think that's the only time I'm ever gonna give someone an out, because we were watching that session, a piece of the platform. You see there's like some disruption on the platform. You see the marshals pick up a piece of wood, take the piece of wood off the platform. And you're like, oh, they're going to stop this. Holy they're keep going. They're continuing the session. And then you're like, I'm like, okay, I just bombed out over lights in my eyes.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine the mental disruption.
There were people that were literally going up there and like lifting it to their knees and like not able to lift the weight. Like they're just dropping it and they're like, what the fuck?
Like you get psyched up. And you're like, what? The whole platform's missing? Oh, it was ridiculous. I mean, they obviously have to. What if we see it at finals?
Oof.
Same platform.
No, I remember like that was like my first AO. Everyone was like raving because they had like this platform from like the 1996 Atlanta Olympics or something like that, and it sucked. Like it was all warped, and that was the platform I lifted on. You had to like roll. You had to do the roll thing, roll it forward, and I was like, I literally like. Cool. I don't care about the Olympic, like the 1996 platform. Like build a new platform. Like,
do you remember? Were you ever there when they had the kill cliff platforms that had the tie downs around the edge? So they would have the tie downs around the edge of the platform, and between lifters, you'd see them out there with the hammer, and then they would ratchet it back together, and then like you go, and then they're like,
no
hammer, no. Okay, Jake Baker, go. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Anyways, so
that's bad.
You made international team at nationals last year.
Correct.
Nationals was supposed to be this weekend.
It was.
Yeah.
R.I.P. I was hoping it was going to get moved. I really was. I was hoping it
did.
To be honest, like with my schedule and stuff, it would have been great if it got moved to AO2. That's what I was hoping for. Yeah. I know everything.
No, it got moved to December.
No, I know, but like I remember like when it first happened. I don't even know like why they're like putting a date on it, because like who knows, you know what I mean? Like I feel like they
Yeah.
should just say like from here on out we don't know, we're just gonna keep it like up in the air, it's suspended indefinitely.
Yeah.
And you know what, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Like there might not be a baseball season, and like I just feel like it's
Yeah.
I think like we're gonna I know
Yeah.
it's different for some other athletes, like maybe like athletes that I mean, I can't really think of like many that could be like that concerned about it.
I think the basketball players get paid per game.
Well, no. I'm talking about like weightlifting.
Oh.
Yeah, like when I
about
compare
national level meets.
Yeah, like when I compare,
there's
like
no point.
like, that's what I'm saying. Like I think like the world can go without a year of I know it would suck, like
Yeah.
it really would, but like I think like right now I feel like they should just be like, might not happen.
Yeah.
Everyone just chill. Take care of yourselves.
Yeah.
If it happens, we'll let you know in October. Like
Yeah, people are still like really like G'd up about AO3.
yeah, and
I'm
that might not even happen because Las
Yeah.
Vegas might not even be open.
like, right. I'm like, okay.
I think I was just talking to someone about this. I think that like the most likely scenario though is, in my opinion, is that it will happen in December because it's in Georgia, and Georgia was like the first state to open up gyms in the country. I think I think when it comes to having like a big venue and stuff like that, I think like that's probably they lucked out with that state. If they really do want to have it,
Yeah.
or maybe like somewhere like here, it would have sucked if
Yeah.
AO Finals was in like Illinois. They probably would have said no.
Or LA.
Or LA apparently closed until 2021. Everything.
Yeah. New York's still pretty closed down, which I mean makes sense, but
Yeah.
they got hit pretty hard. So you qualified for an international team May last year, and then you ended up competing in Rome
San Marino.
Italy.
It's like a
over the summer though.
no, in October.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, October. It's like a little baby country in the middle.
It's a country.
It's in Italy. Yeah. It's really weird because like you don't need. It's like really really small. I think it's like the second smallest country in the world.
Okay.
But it's weird like because we flew into Italy. I forgot where I flew into. Bologna, I think is the name of the city. We flew into there, and then when you drive through San Marino, you don't actually like need to show your passport or anything like that. It was really weird. Yeah, like we were on a bus and just kind of drove up there. But no, it was beautiful. Yeah, it was this like mountain town up in basically Italy.
And you went just for international team experience.
Yeah.
And you had fun.
I did. Yeah.
It was good.
No, yeah, it was a blast. Like it's definitely. I didn't really know about like my future. Like I obviously have like future goals and future aspirations in the sport, but I think like having that opportunity, knowing that like if something ever happens and I never get to compete at that level ever again, like I'm glad I like took advantage of that situation. I'm glad I went on the trip. I'm glad that I went on that team because like it was weird. Like it wasn't I think like everyone thinks, I mean, again, I didn't make like the senior world team, so it's a little different. I didn't have like all this like funding.
Right.
Yeah. Like we weren't like taken care of in a sense. So like when we went there, it was just a bunch of coaches. I met some cool people and whatnot. But like there were like some things that we realized like weren't as simple as we thought. Like for instance, like food. You would think like in a place like Italy, you'd be able to get all this food and stuff like that. But like when we went there, they're really like I had, for instance, the night before I ate, I had like 2 little chicken breasts and like a little cup of rice. That was it. That's all I had. And it was like cold chicken breast with no seasoning on it and stuff like that. But there were other teams that had like this buffet of food and stuff like that. So it was weird. And like I thought about like I heard some stories from other athletes that were there that had competed in like South America and places like that. Experiences to where like they weren't able to drink the drinking water at all.
Yeah.
And they also weren't able to buy bottled water because they were like, it was like they were out of water, things like this. So I've heard some like pretty crazy stories when it came to that. So, seeing that, it was hard. And, trying to, I guess, like track, nutrition wise and try to, be accountable was honestly next to impossible at the time.
Yeah.
And I had a coach talking to him the whole entire time. And, it was still pretty much impossible to like hit the numbers that I needed to hit. So I weighed in at my meet as a 109. I weighed like probably 106.8.
Dang.
Yeah, I was like 2 kilos under.
Just because you couldn't get enough calories.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, like, of course, I worried a little bit. I didn't want to be overweight, but then I realized like I tried to eat everything. I ate like muffins the morning before I lifted and stuff before I even weighed in.
Sarah Robles talks pretty frequently about like athletes getting sick on trips.
Okay. Yeah,
because
yeah,
of international cuisine.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I can imagine.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Especially when they go like to Pan Ams and stuff, which is usually in Latin countries, which is, you know.
Yeah, no, I know.
Whole nother. Yeah, but you had fun.
I did, yeah.
And it was worth it.
It was so worth it.
Worth all the training.
Worth all the training.
Yeah.
Worth everything.
Did you get the USA singlet?
Mm-hmm.
Dope. And then you competed in October, and then you chose to sit out AO finals.
I did, yeah.
For school, or because you
Yeah, so I came back October, probably mid-October was when I was like back, done, and to be honest, like that was September was like seriously like probably the toughest time of my life. It really was.
Oh, because of school.
It was school. It was school and training, and having to get training in and school. That was actually my first semester, like at a bigger school. Like I went from community college to TCU, and TCU is not a huge school, but the level of expectation at that school is like obviously way higher than the community college I was at.
Yeah.
Extremely fast paced and stuff. So it was a very big slap in the face at the time, and looking back on it, I'm so glad I kind of overcame it, because this semester was like 1,000 times better. I juggled training and school way better this semester.
Yeah.
And I think it's just because I had to work so hard back, September, October to figure everything out.
Oh, the spring was better.
Yes.
You had a better work-life balance.
Yeah.
You have a job?
No.
A day job?
No.
You're just going to school?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'm at school pretty much all day. Like,
yeah.
Aside from the online thing. So now, I don't even know what's going to happen in the fall. But this semester was after spring break, it was all online.
Right. I've read some things online about GI Bills only counting if the class issues a grade. And, like, some schools are issuing their online classes pass-fail. And there's been some
oh, wow, really? I didn't hear
that.
about that. Luckily, I got grades.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, to be a full-time student on the GI Bill, you need to be taking, minimum 12 credits, and then you need to be in school. You can't do it online. So,
right.
I was definitely nervous. Like, when it first happened, I was freaking out. That's, to be honest, like, I can't afford to go to TCU. It's an expensive school.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't go to public school.
Yeah,
I mean, private school.
Yeah, I mean, it's an expensive school, and that was like my first thought. I was like, wow, like this might change. Like, honestly, this might change everything. Like this,
right? Because
like if they do online in the fall, what if I'm not able to use the GI Bill for the fall? So I hope we're not online. And luckily, it came out that I will be able to use online benefits if TCU is online in the fall. I'll be okay.
Yeah.
To do that.
I was actually looking up with Vicky the other day because I was just curious. So we live down the street from Collin College, and Collin College, if you're a resident of Collin County, is $52 per credit hour, which is actually higher on some schools that are like super, super cheap.
Yeah.
But $52 per credit hour. So then we compared that to Texas Tech. Texas Tech was like $250 per credit hour, which is where I went.
That's pretty cheap.
And SMU is $2,000 per credit hour, plus fees.
Yeah, that's about what TCU
And
is.
I was like, what? I like rocked my world. I mean, I went to public school. I don't think Vicky went to private school. She went to University of Hartford in Connecticut.
Okay, in Connecticut, yeah.
Which is obviously way more expensive, right? And I'm like, now we have the same job, Vicky. Was it worth it?
It's the same job.
We have the same job.
Yeah, no, I that's funny you just said it, because I just saw like a meme the other, or it was a meme, it was one of those like, written out Instagram story kind of things, and it was something about like warning students, like if you're a freshman going into college in the fall, don't waste your money on like private school education. I wouldn't say but I would say if you're gonna spend $12,000 or $25,000 for an online semester of school, go to community college. Do it. Just like go take your 4 classes that you would have taken at a community college. It doesn't matter. It's just,
I think this conversation is what sparked us looking it up.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah.
Because I think I saw something like on Reddit or opinion or unpopular opinion, whatever. And they were saying like, if you're entering school or if, whatever your circumstances, don't pay. No. Don't pay $1 million for it.
No.
Don't. And I mean, that's fair. Even in hindsight, like, I didn't need to go to Texas Tech. Yeah. Which, I mean, was relatively cheap at the time. Still, I mean, even, but private schools, unless there's a specific reason that you're going there. If the reason you're going there is because your friends are going there, that's not enough reason.
Yeah.
It's so expensive.
Yeah.
So you didn't train as much this spring as you did last fall?
No, I actually ended up training more.
Really?
Yeah. Like I said, I was just able to, I think after, San Marino, I took, I guess altogether I took probably 6 to 8 weeks off pretty much completely. Like to the point where I was not really doing much because I didn't have the time. Like I was
Yeah.
so behind on schoolwork that I had to kind of catch up on schoolwork.
Yeah.
And then probably about early December, I started like kind of training again. And I don't really know what happened. I think I was just able to figure it out a little more. But
Yeah. Compartmentalized.
yeah, it's just such a slap in the face. It just
Yeah.
came out of nowhere in September,
Yeah.
August, September. I actually ended up, I was training well up until this whole stuff kind of happened. I was probably having like the best training I've ever had in my life.
With the coronavirus?
But right before that,
Oh,
that
yeah,
was like basically me going into spring break. I was PRing my lifts every day. Like every
That's
time
awesome.
every time I go to train, I was PRing lifts. I was
You were training at TCU mostly?
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah. That gym's pretty nice.
Yeah, I mean, it looks nice.
Yeah.
Pay for it.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
government pay for it. So have you been training through coronavirus?
Somewhat, yeah.
You have plates at home,
I have plates at home, yeah.
but not a ton.
I have up to like 185 kilos.
It's like 400 pounds.
But luckily, Blue Wave lent out Nikki like I think it was 70 kilos altogether. I haven't actually had to use all that weight or anything like that, but it's nice to have some weightlifting plates in there. But yeah, my training has kind of been just like hit or miss. Right, the last 2 weeks have been pretty tough with school. Like
Yeah.
finals like ended last Friday, so the
Yeah.
last couple of weeks I've been kind of just sitting in front of my computer all day, unfortunately. And that's just kind of how it is with my degree. It's just like there's like certain points where I have 4 exams in a week, and
Yeah.
that means every day I'm gonna be waking up at 6 in the morning and working until 8 o'clock at night studying.
Yeah.
But I think you just gotta grind.
Do you think that you care enough to qualify for another international team to like go all in on that?
Yeah, 100%.
Do you think that it's possible to be a full-time student and train enough
Yeah.
to make it?
Yes, 100%. I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like I don't want to say it like in like that kind of way, but like like I think it's totally possible. I'm not the only one I didn't even make like a senior world team. Like
I'm trying to think like who do we know right now that's full-time student? I know Maddie goes to school, Kate Viber goes to school,
yeah.
but I don't know I don't know them. I don't know their situation.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't really, I think it all kind of depends too. Like, are you taking online classes? Are you in school every day? Because that's probably the hardest part. Luckily I have a nice gym at my school and stuff.
Yeah.
But the hardest part is probably like the amount of time that I have to be like physically at
Right.
school. And then kind of like that hassle of like having to like, go to the gym and come back, or,
Yeah.
go to the gym before my classes start, things like that. Maybe if it was online, I would say it was a little easier, but I don't want to take anything away from, anyone, who's taking online classes. It could be just as hard.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really. I mean, I got my real estate license after I graduated college.
Oh, really?
Sold commercial real estate for a while.
Huh.
And I did that online
Okay.
at Texas Tech. Like Texas Tech had a
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But other than that, I haven't really done online school. I think like before all this, like I have a day job. And I was going to the gym. And a lot of that just coordination between like being at the gym when they're cool with me being at the gym, and then like making sure that aligns with a work schedule. And then like what do I do after work, and like trying to navigate driving home in traffic and like blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. And then, like a lot of that's just navigation that
Yeah.
takes a lot of time. It sucks. And then, before all this, I was sitting in the car a couple hours a day.
Yeah. Oh, that's awful.
Yeah.
That just makes me stressed thinking about that. Like having to drive like 3 hours a day,
Yeah.
like commuting back and forth and stuff like that. But would you say that you're I guess like better on a schedule? Because that's how I am. Like right now, like I'm lost because because I just finished school. I'm probably gonna have to try to find like a part-time job over the summer. To just keep myself busy, because like I've found that like when I have nothing else to do except for weightlifting, things kind of suck. Luckily, I have like Nikki's awesome. Like my wife's like awesome. So like even if I have like bad training, like she keeps me like happy. I guess you'd say like.
Yeah.
But like when I don't have like I guess like a bundle of stuff going on in my life, and you have like a bad training session, it makes training really really tough. Like it makes you almost like kind of miserable because like you have nothing else to make yourself like happy. I guess
Right. It's kind of hard. Like if you have a really bad training session. I've been working. So I had personally, I was having a banger year. Had a great AO finals, had a great nationals. Go back to AO finals, 0-6. Go to states, bombed out at states. And I basically, had to be like, what happened?
Yeah.
Like what happened here? And a lot of it I think was, confidence.
Mm-hmm.
And just losing confidence, right? Obviously, physically I'm the same human being I was before. Have the same coaches, have a lot of the same things. So it's like, what happened? A lot of it's just confidence. And if you have a really bad training session and then you kind of like wallow in it, it's not, your next training session is not going to be better.
No.
You got to figure out a way to just move on.
Yeah.
And a lot of that's, being like, okay, well, I got to go to work.
Yeah.
Or we do the winter's win stuff and just staying busy.
Yeah.
And I think busy with productive things.
Agreed.
It's like we do a lot of projects on our house if I
Yeah.
have downtime.
Yeah.
But it's like I really, really, really try to stay productive in a positive way. Even if it's like busy work, just like, hey, like let's, I don't know. The other day I posted on Reddit asking people for podcast ideas. So it's going to take me in a couple hours to like go through all the comments and sort ideas and make a chart, But again,
Yeah.
like something positive versus sitting on my phone or like watching other people max out and not hitting what I wanted to hit.
Yeah. That's what leads me to like
stuff.
delete my Instagram. Like when I get into like that kind of thing, or like playing video games. Like I play video games maybe a week every like 6 months. I'll play for like a week, and I pretty much kind of like get my fix, and then I'm just like, it makes me like seriously like so. I know I'm not the only one, obviously, but it makes me just like mad. I don't know what it is, but it's just 'cause I'm sitting there and I'm like not using my brain. Like I'm just like I think it's just like I feel like maybe it's in a way high tempo if you're playing Call of Duty, something like that. But like it just like doesn't make my brain work like the way that I like it to. And I always like finish playing, and I don't know. I just almost feel like I wasted 6 hours or 2 hours or whatever. So I kind of just quit after like a week of playing video games. That's in my opinion like for me that's like doing something negatively. Like you were saying, like do things positively that are productive, things like that. Like for me, like playing video games is like negative, and I almost feel like guilty playing it because I know that eventually after like a week of playing video games, I'm going to look back and be like, I just wasted, 6 hours out of my day on Tuesday, like I wasted this much time on Saturday,
Yeah. I mean, I think there's like I have a rest day every Sunday, and we started walking, but like sometimes I just it's crazy because sometimes we were getting into Community, the TV show.
Yeah, okay.
And so you watch like enough episodes back to back, so Netflix is like, are you still watching?
Yeah.
And then you're like, I'm just wasting my day, and you look down, it's been like 4 hours of Community.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like hard to balance decompressing and relaxing with wasting your time, wasting your life.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
I know what you mean.
there's a place for it. But yeah, I love projects, and I love routine.
What else are you doing? You working on anything
Right
new?
now?
Yeah.
With Winter's Win?
No, just
life?
I don't know, projects like house projects, life projects. I don't know. Winners win. Yeah.
Yeah. So we redid our whole gym.
Mhm.
We posted all those project videos. I built some shelves in my house.
Okay.
You can check out.
I will.
Yeah. We ordered a hot tub the other day. I've been working on that. Been getting a
really?
bunch of estimates on my house, trying to get fencing and flooring done. I was working on my Forerunner for a while. I was like super into that.
Yeah.
Working on Winter's Win stuff, doing some gym fundraiser stuff, getting some designs up. It's my projects.
Oh, cool.
We've
Inside,
been-
outside.
Yeah, Vicky's been buying and like selling random stuff online.
Nice.
We try to make some extra money. Which, like, if we buy, like, if I, like, we had some, like, old electronics we sold and made some money on it. And so then you don't feel as bad when you buy something else.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
I'm like,
Wait, hold on. have you been to? I'm assuming you've been to like one of those like Off-White stores or like Supreme.
Yeah.
I cannot believe, like, I've never, like, me and Nikki, we went to the one in South Lake. You know what I'm talking about? The one that's in that little, like, town square. I cannot believe how expensive those shoes are.
And they always make you feel so weird, too.
There were, like, there was a kid in there with his mom that was school shopping. Like, and I was like, how in the world?
So I used to be kind of fat. And when we would go to New York when I was fat, I would go into Supreme or go into Kith or go into whatever.
Yeah, Kith,
and people would be so weird to me. And I thought it was because, like, I was insecure. And so I'm like, oh, it's just because I'm fat. Like, I'm not cool because I'm fat. Right? And now I'm like, oh, no, they're just douches. Like, that's just how they are.
Yeah.
They're just rude. They're just rude, people. Yeah, you have to be like, excuse me. Do you have this t-shirt? Like, no. For the dogs. You don't have it in a medium? No. Like, how dare you ask?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Oh.
No, they're just rude. I wish I could say that to like all people on earth. When people are rude to you, it's usually not you. They're just fucking rude.
Yeah.
Anyways, so what do you think it's going to take for you to make an international team while being a full-time student?
I guess probably dedication. Like, that's probably like the biggest thing. I think like you need to like sit down just one time. I know it's almost like quitting something cold turkey. Like, I think that's like what you need to do. Like, you need to like sit down and tell yourself like, I am all in. Like, I'm that's like a big thing that I like to say, like, just being like all in. Like, everything that like I do in my life, I try to be all in, whether it's like, you know, my marriage or, you know, being like a Parker
hopefully somebody would. I mean, some people are half in on their
some
marriage.
people are half in, and that's why like they only get halfway, you know, in their marriage.
That's fair. But like, okay, so do you drink? I don't drink, but some people do.
That's funny. I quit drinking for 2 years, and then on Valentine's Day, after 2 years, I decided to have a beer. And then I didn't have a drink again until last week, and I bought some beer. But I just.
But it's not a regular thing.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
No.
And you take your.
Oh yeah, I think we've talked about this before. Yeah, I used to, do it very regularly, and then I was kind of like, this is literally like a waste of money. Yeah. It's a waste of time. Yeah. I feel like crap. I don't understand how people train consistently and drink every day, whether it's a beer or 3 beers or whatever it is. Like, because I remember doing it.
It's also empty. I mean, the other thing too is like it's empty calories, right?
Yeah.
I prefer to eat my calories.
Yeah.
I would absolutely. I went through this whole thing. I think it was in the last fall. I had the CrossFit Open coming up, and I had AO finals coming up, and I had nationals coming up, and I was like, no sugar. And then I had the worst athletic performance of my season of my career. And I was like, that was pointless. I was like, that did no good. I'm like, I think with balance, you can live your life. I mean, I'm sure people can balance alcohol. But the thing is, like having 3 or 4 drinks, it's just empty calories, right? It's going to dehydrate. It's going to make you feel like trash. Yeah. But you work with your mom?
Yeah.
And she does your nutrition?
I work with my mom, like the guy who like runs PLT. Yeah. I work with him more specifically. Yeah. I worked with my mom, and it didn't really work out very well because I worked with my mom, and she was my mom, and it turned into like her telling me to do certain things, and she was just my mom, and I thought I could get away with, not
being that. The accountability wasn't there.
Yeah, and you know what? I kind of like realized like after like a few months, I was like, I'm literally like a waste of money and I'm a waste of time to her. I really am. Like, I know like I'm her son and everything like that, but like really thinking about it in like that aspect on like a business standpoint, because that's how you have to look at it. Like, she was my mom, but at the same time, like I'm her client, and she's like my coach, so I have to look at it like that. And it was a waste of time, and it was a waste of just effort. Like I was like cheating on my diet, and things like that, and then I'd have to go back and tell her like I'm not losing weight or I'm not gaining weight or I'm not doing this and that, and then she'd be like, well, are you following the program? And I'd kind of like lie, and she'd have to try to figure things out to try to make things work for me, but realistically it was just me not listening to what I was supposed to be doing.
So I actually have a question. I just thought about it while you're talking. So I'm 33 and female, and if I look at cake, I gain weight. But I have some friends, male friends, who are like, I can't gain weight. You think that's bullshit?
That's funny because like I saw another meme, but it was just like I feel bad for like women that like try so hard to lose weight and can't, if a guys can lose, they could go like a weekend without eating that much and like wake up 12 pounds lighter.
Especially
on a Monday,
younger guys.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think it's BS. I think it's harder. I think it's hard to gain weight the correct way. So
Yeah.
like, and I think it's it's pretty hard to just like bulk without like putting fat on and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But no, it was hard for me. Like at first, like I tried to do it the correct way, and I tried gaining weight like really slowly, and
Yeah.
trying to do it the muscle way. And I kind of like gave up because this was back when there was still the 105 kilo weight class, and it was my first like time like trying to like bulk. I was always like 100 kilos. Like I was never 105 kilos or anything even really close to that.
That's a difference of 12 pounds.
Yeah, and that's a lot of weight to gain while you're burnt, especially like here in the summer.
Yeah.
I mean, you like in the summer if you're training and your gym doesn't have AC or anything like that, you training in your probably this summer training in your garage. You got to drink minimum 2 gallons of water a day.
Yeah,
Seriously.
I buy Pedialyte by the cases.
Yeah. You have to, and so like trying to gain weight in like a summer like that, definitely pretty hard. I just think like it kind of comes down to just like dedication. Like I think like it takes a really 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 long time, and it's just like someone who's trying to lose weight. Like a lot of people who are 350 pounds, like they'll lose 50 pounds really quick, but then like to get from 300 to 250, it takes a really 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 long time to do it, and the people that stick with it do it. Yeah. And they lose the weight, and a lot of people keep it off. But I think it just comes down to like just pure dedication. Like you need to want it. Like you need to realize like how important the nutrition aspect is of it. Like it's just straight up.
I think weightlifting
performance.
is huge.
Yeah, yeah.
It's huge. It is a weight class sport, right? We don't do enough cardio as weightlifters to overcome. Like weightlifting is fairly sedentary, right? And it doesn't. You build muscles, but it doesn't burn a ton of calories. So it's really a nutrition sport.
It is. No, I totally
on both
agree.
ends, right? Losing weight, gaining weight.
Yeah.
I feel like a professional weight cutter.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've seen you lose a lot of weight in like 6 hours.
Yeah. It's not the right way to do it. I'll say over and over. I've been doing a lot of research on like the effects on the central nervous system of rapid weight cuts and weight gain. Like, you always think like, oh, it messes with your body and your muscles and blah, 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 blah. But like when I was at, we went to the Arnold.
Okay. This past one.
Yeah.
Okay.
The one, it was no fans, no spectators.
Wait, hold on. Was there spectators? 'Cause I feel like
Yeah,
I watched like
there was.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, but it was like everybody who came as a coach or like Vicky was a
Yeah, okay.
It was actually pretty cool. I mean, it will never be like that again. But it was I didn't mind it at all. The platforms were on the floor.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which was awesome.
I watched,
it was like I hate the lights and I hate the theatrics of it, so it was awesome for me. But I cut to 64, and physically I was awesome. But through the entire session, it felt like I had just woken up.
Oh,
like
that's tough.
Yeah, and I was like, what if literally the issue that I'm having is the weight cut, but not in a way that we all think it is? What if it's I literally just neurologically can't come back from this?
Huh.
Yeah.
Do you think like you're gonna be a 64 like for a really long time? Like do you foresee yourself like kind of getting? And I only ask that because there's like a lot of like more specifically like female athletes that like I'm not gonna name drop anyone, but like especially at the lower weight classes, like they tend to like get a little bit older. Older as in like 27 because they were lifting since they were 18. But they kind of get to the point where they're like this is pretty tiring.
Yeah.
So like, do you see yourself in the future? It kind of
depends on the goals, right? So to compete as a 64, I'm a lot more competitive on a national and international level.
Okay.
To compete as a 71, I'm incredibly competitive on a national and international level as a masters athlete.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, for example, the Masters American record, clean and jerk, for 64 is like 115. And the Masters American record for clean and jerk for 71 is 103.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So it's kind of like depends on what my goals are, like where the points are,
yeah,
how it shakes out. I live at like 67 or 68, which 69 is not a weight class anymore. But
you were 69?
well, that was I used to cut to 63.
Okay.
Which was bad, but I've gotten bulkier.
Okay.
Over the years, and the weight cuts have gotten just tougher and tougher and tougher. And it's like it's worth it.
Yeah.
Especially as I'll be a masters athlete 2021. I'll be 34, but I'll be a weightlifting masters athlete.
Are you gonna go to a masters competition, or are you gonna like compete? Because you're gonna obviously be able to qualify and compete at a high level at like nationals or AF finals. So you're gonna do that, but you can also use that as like your master's total. Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the thing is, like for example, let's say I think it was 2020 I think it's 2021, where I'll be a masters athlete in the world championship. The masters world championship is in Japan. Do I want to pay $5,000 for a trip to Japan for a masters record?
Well. Yeah, I mean, I guess it just it depends how much it's worth it for you. Do you like Japan? If you want to go to Japan,
I mean, I'm still in the mindset that I want to hang.
Yeah.
I want to hang. I mean, I could still qualify for some super elite CrossFit stuff on a team. I can qualify for the CrossFit Games as a masters athlete. I can compete in weightlifting as a senior level athlete. No one's gonna say it, but it feels like a consolation. And I'm not mentally there yet.
Okay. Well, I just asked that because, like, if you really wanted to go to, if you're big into Japan, like when I went to Italy, something that like really sucks, like looking back on it, is like if it was in July, I would have taken out money out of our savings account, and me and Nikki would have went on a trip to Europe and for 2 weeks, but the timing, was rough. It was during my school year. I literally left on, what was it? I missed school on Friday. That was it. But I left on a Thursday and I came back on a Sunday night. From here, like it's basically, or something like that. I think it was and I missed school like Thursday and Friday, whatever it was. It was a very, very short time, and it really was enough. It was enough time to where I was able to walk around. Where the heck is it? Venice.
Yeah.
Which was incredible, obviously, but like having that like 6-hour day in Venice was such a tease because I was like, how did I just come to Italy and not even really get to take a time to take a breath of fresh air and like look around at like where we were. Like I explored a little bit, but like that, like if I if I loved Japan, like if I were you and I loved Japan, I'd do it. Go take a trip out of it. Why not?
I don't know. See how it goes. I mean, I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Well, that's also going to be, with all the Olympic stuff and. I mean, everything in sports now is insane. Everything in sports is insane.
And I'm really mad about it.
Yeah, I love sports.
No, seriously, like I'm like Nikki and I watch the Cardinals games every single night at 6 p.m. the whole season.
Why the Cardinals?
I'm just I was the Cardinals. Yeah, no, because I'm not from St. Louis. I was the Cardinals for Little League when I was in like 3rd or 4th grade or whatever, and I hated the Yankees and the Mets sucked, so I became a Cardinals fan.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I've been a diehard fan since. But yeah, we watch the games every night at 6 p.m. And like seriously, we always, we joke, but it's like we're seriously like weirdly upset about it, because it's like there's like I think like people laugh at sports fans for like I'm not like a paint my chest guy that's gonna go to the game and be like that kind of guy, but like I watch sports because it gets us. I don't know, like right now, like sports would be. I know, like it's not possible, but like sports would be like the best thing right now because like during like.
Did you watch the fight the other day?
No, I'm not a huge.
What was the only thing that was?
No, I know. Well, they're playing Korean baseball, and their ratings are high at 2:00 in the morning because people miss sports so bad that people are watching Korean baseball league at 2 a.m.
That's awesome.
Because they miss sports. Look at the Michael Jordan documentary. I don't know if you've been watching it, but their ratings are like incredible right now, and it's because
think
people.
It's that great.
Well, I didn't watch. Nikki deleted our Sling account, so I haven't watched the 5th through the 8th episode. There's 2 left, I think. I think they're kind of portraying Michael Jordan to be an asshole, which he clearly was, but look what he got out of it.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what you got to be, you know?
I love sports documentaries.
Yeah.
Love that.
Do you think this one's strong? Do you think this one's dragged out?
That grit, that mindset, that toughness.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's drawn out. Also, it's kind of like, he was awesome. Like, no one's disputing that. But they're trying to, like, find stories all over the place. And it's like, I think that there's no doubt he's best basketball player of all time, but there are other athletes that have overcome adversity or have these phenomenal stories.
Yeah, Tiger Woods.
I mean, like...
I just watched Tiger Woods Masters from
the Alex
last
Smith
year.
one.
The Alex Smith was... See, like, that, to me, was too short.
Right.
Like, that should have been a couple more episodes long.
I was like, I want to know more about Alex Smith's
That was
leg.
so sick. I know. I was Googling everything afterwards, trying to find out, like, more. I wanted to see, like, when this documentary actually ended, like, you know, where he is since this documentary ended. That documentary was crazy. When they showed his bone, that was his bone. Like, they literally, like, scraped down to his bone.
Yeah, I love it.
That was
awesome.
Nuts.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I think like on the 4th episode, it was, you know, they're doing 2 every Sunday. But by the time the 4th episode rolled around, I was having trouble. And
the timeline is all over the place.
Yeah, it is.
And I'm like, what?
And it's
what playoffs are we in right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also at 8 to 10 p.m. on Sundays, and that's kind of late.
Yeah.
Maybe one episode.
I love sports, but I always am rooting for
the underdog.
Yeah, I want everybody to make it.
Yeah. I love the underdog.
I want everybody to make it. I love people's shit paying off. Even if you're a bad person, it doesn't matter. Like if you earned it, like
like Michael Vick.
You want that.
That's probably like that's probably one of the most controversial things that's ever happened.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that there are people out there that literally could care less. First of all, they could care less about football, let alone like Michael Vick. But I'm sure there's people out there that really hate Michael Vick enough to where like they don't want him to succeed whatsoever.
Yeah.
But like, and I hate what he did, obviously. Like I guess there's a couple people out there that are cool with it, but I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. But seeing him succeed after everything was great to me. And now I know. I don't know if it's BS or not, but he's, you know, big advocate now on, you know, animal rights, and he does speeches and stuff, you know, everywhere. Of course,
the thing is, people can. I think this is a whole nother tirade, but people can change their mind.
Mm-hmm.
People can change their mind. People can change their opinion, and I think like this, like we live in this society where you say something and then you die by it.
Yeah.
Like you've got to be able to say, I don't know.
Yeah, no.
Or I changed my mind.
Yeah. I got older.
You know what?
I saw some
now
stuff.
that you told me that, I changed my mind.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's just wisdom. You know, I think the the older you get, like the more wisdom you have, kind of thing. And I think that comes with that.
I was wrong.
Changing your mind.
I changed my mind.
Wrong, you know.
I saw this thing with Elon Musk. You watched Joe Rogan?
Yeah.
And Elon Musk was also super controversial right now.
Mm-hmm. I watched it. Yeah.
But he was talking about how he tries every day to be a little less wrong. He assumes he's wrong, cool. But every day he wants to be a little less wrong.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, it's a weird way to say that, but good for you.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I feel like more people in the public eye being like, what I said before was wrong based on new evidence that was presented to me, and I changed my mind.
Yeah.
I think it's totally fine.
And that's why I love Elon Musk.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, similar to, there's a lot of people that are out there right now that are controversial, but are, you know, they change minds.
That's funny you just said that. I was just talking to my buddy about it, and because people are going nuts right now because Elon is doing what he's doing, like running his manufacturing plant, which in my opinion, I think it's like it's his company, he wants to do it, his employees want to work for him, then that, you know, the good for him. But like it's weird how like people went from like loving Elon Musk to now saying like this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, this guy's not doing this and that. But it's like Elon Musk is like the only, I guess like big, not the only one, but he's like actually doing really, really, really good things with his money, and he's not like a lot of people out there that are like, oh, we need to go green, we need to do this and that. He's literally doing stuff for 20 generations from now that he will never see, and people are all of a sudden they don't like Elon Musk. I'm like, this guy's only doing it for the people.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to sit here and be like, oh, I disagree with that, but this guy's innovating for generations to come, and he says, "Oh, I'm gonna do this thing," and you're like, "Okay," and then he does it. And
He
you're
does
like,
it.
"Holy shit!" Like the solar panel battery house thing.
Yeah.
I was like, "No way!"
Yeah.
And you're like, "Oh shit, he did it."
Yeah.
Oh,
or
crazy.
when he sold all those flamethrowers.
Ah!
He's like, I'm gonna sell these flamethrowers. He literally sold flamethrowers to the American
Joe
public.
Rogan has one. I love it. Anyways, we'll wrap up. But I just want to. What are your goals?
My goals. I have I have a lot of goals.
What's coming up for you?
Like school wise, things like that.
Yeah,
I think
what's coming
I think it kind of just depends on the time of the year. I know it's like kind of weird, but
Everything's weird right now.
right now, my goal is to really get back to training full time. Recover hard, eat well. Get ready to train and use the summer to train because during the school year it's hard for me. So I need to
gonna
look
go
at
back
the
to the
summer.
gym? Or are you gonna train at home?
Well, it depends. But probably at the gym, but
Yeah.
it depends when it opens. Like TCU Rec is like. It's a private school, so like they don't have to open like UTA would or something like that. So I was actually going to shoot them an email. I hope maybe they'll watch this, but I really would like if they would open their gym because I like having like the leg machines and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'll probably training in my gym. I'll probably actually come by here a little bit if your garage is still open. But yeah, no, that's my goal is just to kind of train hard, get motivated, stay motivated.
Keep competing.
Yeah.
Well, obviously we're rooting for you. You've been a good friend of ours.
Oh, yeah.
So we're rooting for you, and if there's anything we can do to help you out, let us know.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. This was fun.
Thanks for coming out, Big Kev.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
See ya.
See ya.